Right, Moses, a towering figure in history, a name synonymous with leadership and liberation. You've probably heard of him. The stories are legendary, passed down through generations. He led his people out of Egypt, parted a sea in a moment of divine intervention, and even chatted with a burning bush, receiving guidance from the heavens. All very dramatic indeed. These are the moments that define him in our collective memory. But beyond the miracles, the divine encounters, and the stone tablets etched with commandments, there's a human story waiting to be explored. Moses was, at his core, a person, someone who, like us, had to eat, sleep, and face the daily challenges of existence. We tend to focus on the big events, the turning points that shaped history, the plagues that ravaged Egypt, the dramatic exodus from slavery, the receiving of the commandments on Mount Sinai. But what about the daily grind? What about the mundane realities of life in the desert? What did Moses actually eat day in and day out during those long years of wandering? 40 years in the unforgiving Sinai desert, a seemingly endless expanse of sand and rock. No supermarkets stocked with fresh produce, no convenient takeaways offering a quick and easy meal. Feeding a nation, a multitude of people in the harsh and desolate wilderness, was a monumental daily challenge, a logistical nightmare. Imagine the sheer scale of the undertaking. Hundreds of thousands of people, each needing sustenance every single day for decades on end. That's logistics on a biblical scale, a feat of organization that boggles the mind. Thinking about Moses' meals and the meals of his people isn't a trivial exercise. It's a way to connect with the reality of their lives. It grounds the epic story in the everyday, making it more tangible and relatable. It connects us to his humanity, reminding us that even the greatest leaders are, at their heart, just people trying to survive and thrive. So let's set aside the epic moments, the grand narratives, and the larger-than-life persona. Let's peek into Moses' lunchbox, so to speak, and see what we can discover. What was on the menu during this epic journey? What fueled their bodies and spirits as they traversed the desert? Was it all miracles, a constant stream of divine provision, or was there something more down to earth, more practical at play? The answer, as you might suspect, is a fascinating and complex mix of both the miraculous and the mundane. There's divine intervention, the miraculous provision of manna from heaven. There's also ancient ingenuity, the clever ways in which people adapted to survive in a harsh environment. And there are even some familiar ingredients, foods that might surprise you with their presence in this ancient story. So let's begin our culinary expedition into the past, a journey to uncover the flavors and foods of Moses' world. It's bound to be interesting, and perhaps even a little surprising. When we delve into the past, we often focus on grand battles, powerful rulers, and monumental structures. But what about something more fundamental, something that touches every life, regardless of status or era? Does it matter what Moses ate thousands of years ago? Absolutely, it matters immensely. Food is far more than just fuel to keep our bodies going. It's a cornerstone of culture, a living record of history, and a powerful expression of identity. It connects us to our ancestors in ways that few other things can. What people eat reveals a wealth of information about their environment, the resources available to them, the level of their technology, and the core values that shape their society. The kitchen, in any era, is truly the heart of a society. It's where traditions are passed down and where families connect. The specific ingredients they used show what grew locally, what could be traded, and what was considered valuable. While cooking methods reveal the tools they had at their disposal and their ingenuity in using them. In a way, food is a detective story. Each meal, each ingredient, each cooking technique offers a clue to understanding their daily life, their beliefs, and their challenges. Meals carry profound meaning, from times of feasts and celebration to periods of famines and scarcity, from sacred foods that connect them to the divine to forbidden foods that define their boundaries. Sharing food builds community, strengthens bonds, and fosters trust among individuals and groups. The Bible itself is full of food stories, from miraculous loaves and fishes to the symbolic weight of the Last Supper. So, asking what Moses ate isn't just a matter of idle curiosity. It's a powerful way to connect with real people from the past, to understand their daily lives and to appreciate their shared humanity. By understanding their meals, the ingredients they used, and the ways they prepared them, we gain a deeper understanding of their struggles, their triumphs, and their relationship with the world around them. It makes them relatable, it bridges the gap of millennia, and allows us to see them as people just like us. And that's a brilliant and compelling reason to care about what's for dinner, even millennia later. Let's talk about manna, a substance shrouded in mystery and steeped in ancient lore. It's a story that has resonated through generations, a tale of survival, faith, and the unexpected provision found in the most desolate of places. The miracle food, a sustenance that appeared seemingly from nowhere, offering life and hope to a people wandering in the wilderness. It's a cornerstone of the Exodus narrative, a testament to the power of belief. According to Exodus, one of the foundational texts of the Abrahamic religions, every morning, as the sun began to paint the sky with its first light, the ground was covered with this mysterious frost-like substance, a delicate layer blanketing the harsh desert floor, a promise of sustenance in a land of scarcity. White, like coriander seed, small and round, a visual description that has intrigued scholars and believers alike for centuries. Tasting like honey wafers, a sweet and delicate flavor that provided not just nourishment, but also a sense of comfort and delight, a divine breakfast cereal. A daily provision that sustained a nation, a gift from above that defied explanation. The rules were simple yet profound. Gather only enough for one day, a lesson in trust and reliance on the present moment. Hoard it, and it's spoiled overnight, a stark reminder of the importance of faith and the futility of greed. Except before the Sabbath, when it stayed fresh, a testament to the sanctity of rest and the divine provision for those who honored it. This daily miracle lasted 40 years, an entire generation sustained by this extraordinary gift, sustaining the Israelites, guiding them through the trials and tribulations of their desert journey. The name manna comes from what is it? A question born of wonder and bewilderment, a fitting question encapsulating the mystery and the inexplicable nature of this desert provision. For a food that appeared out of nowhere, defying natural explanations and challenging conventional understanding. Some suggest it was insect honeydew, a natural secretion from desert plants, or desert lichen, a resilient organism capable of thriving in the harshest conditions. But the point is the miracle, not the science. The focus remains on the extraordinary nature of the event, regardless of potential explanations. Manna was a symbol of trust and divine care, a tangible representation of God's unwavering support. In the harshest environment, a reminder that even in the most desolate of places, hope and sustenance can be found. It's a story about faith, not just food, a narrative that transcends the physical realm, offering a timeless message of hope, trust, and the power of belief. Miracle bread wasn't the only surprise. There was quail too. Tired of manna, the people craved meat. So a wind brought a massive flock of quail carpeting the ground. The Sinai is on a quail migration route, so this isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Exhausted birds landed in droves, easy to catch. But the story comes with a warning: the people overindulged, and a plague struck. It's a lesson in moderation and gratitude. Gifts can become curses if abused. The quail story blends natural events with moral meaning. Manna and quail weren't the only foods. Archaeology shows a broader diet. The Israelites knew farming and foraging, and they brought livestock. Their staple unleavened flatbread, simple, portable, filling, made from barley or emmer wheat, cooked on hot stones or clay griddles. Lentils and pulses were crucial, nutritious, storable, perfect for nomads. Dates and figs from oases provided energy and sweetness, dried for storage. Sheep and goats gave milk turned into yogurt and cheese, essential in the desert. Meat was rare, reserved for feasts or sacrifices. Their diet was practical, resourceful, and deeply connected to their environment. Cooking in the desert was all about simplicity and resourcefulness. Open fires were the kitchen's heart, providing heat, light, and a gathering place. Flatbreads were baked on hot stones or in clay ovens like the tanner. Stews simmered in earthenware pots over embers, softening grains and pulses. Flavor came from wild herbs, salt, and what little they could forage. Preserving food was vital. Fruits dried in the sun, meat salted and dried, milk fermented into cheese and yogurt. It was practical science, survival through cleverness. So what did Moses eat? A blend of the miraculous and the mundane. Manna and quail were symbols of faith and divine care, but daily life was built on bread, lentils, dates, and dairy, food of survival and ingenuity. This dual diet reflects the biblical narrative, the divine woven into the human. Moses wasn't just a spiritual leader, he was responsible for feeding his people. Their food tells a story of faith, hardship, and resilience. It makes history real, reminding us that even legends needed dinner. Sometimes the biggest truths are found in the simplest questions, like, what was for dinner?